Hey everyone, so we are back. We're going to be discussing one of my favorite topics, Elvis Presley, and this we are discussing two albums today. The first one, entitled, which is right behind Pickles there, called You'll Never Walk Alone, which is one of his gospel albums, which is one of my favorites. And so we're going to just jump right into it, and we're going to talk about the songs on this album, our overall takeaways, what we liked, what we didn't like, and stuff like that. So we're going to start out with the first song, of course, You'll Never Walk Alone. So, Pickles, I'm going to let you start with that one.
So, You'll Never Walk Alone was written by Rogers and Hammerstein. I didn't know that Elvis was sang Broadway music, but this is obviously a Broadway tune. I'm not sure what play it's from. But I did notice when one of the lines that stood out to me was when you walk through a storm and you hold your head up high. There is a very heavy guitar. The vocals were very clean and clear. You can hear them. You could also hear the original hiss of the record and the heavy piano playing with the organ, and then the backing vocals on this. Is that the Jordanaires or the Sweet Inspirations?
I believe it's the Jordanaires.
Okay, cool. And what's the next song?
Okay, so the next song is Who Am I? And this song is a beautifully done song. I'm not sure who wrote this song, but it is a beautifully done song. I'm also going to let Pickles have this one because I am fact checking the other one.
So Who Am I is written by Charles Rusty Goldman. One of the lines that I picked from this song was when I think of how he came so far from glory, came to dwell among the lowly, such as I. Again, this one has a heavy piano, violin, and this one does have the Sweet Inspirations in the background. Elvis, again, the vocals are clear here. And Elvis is, I felt like really Elvis is giving his soul to a lot of these songs. Like you could hear the passion and in his tone of the voice in this particular track that I remember from the album. What is this from, by the way? Like, is
You
this a movie?
This is not from a movie. The next one that we are going to discuss is from a movie, so I will take that one. But You'll Never Walk Alone is from a play, as Pickles just mentioned, and it's from the Rodgers and Hammerstein musical Carousel.
Okay, I've never seen that one, but that's fine. Um, so yeah, that's cool. All right, so what is the
Okay,
next song?
so the next song is from a movie that Elvis made with the amazing Mary Tyler Moore, and that movie is called Change of Habit, and the name of the song is Let Us Pray. Now, this song, if you've ever seen the music video, he sings this one in a church. However, I'd say that his vocals on this one are amazing. The sweet inspirations behind him are also amazing. Very well sung song, and it's just an overall amazing song. It's one of my favorites on this album. Pickles.
Yes, this one was also my favorite on this album. Also, I don't know if Deke mentioned it, but this is a gospel album. That's particularly has like gospel songs. Let Us Pray was a faster paced, kind of rock and roll style of song. The female vocals on the background are amazing. Is Mary Tyler Moore singing on this track?
No, tie into nuns because we just did The Trouble with Angels. In this movie, Mary Tyler Moore plays a nun. In Change of
Interesting.
Habit, she plays a nun. If you don't have to see the movie in order to understand. But basically, her, Barbara McNair, I can't remember the other lady's name. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to the other actress. I cannot remember her name to save my life. But it's Mary Tyler Moore, Barbara McNair, I can't remember the other lady's name. But the three of them play nuns.
So, I know one thing though. Elvis had this thing other than Anne Margaret that he never really starred with big stars in his movie. But wasn't Mary Tyler Moore considered a big star? Is this pre the Mary Tyler Moore show?
The,
What year was this?
no, this was in 1969. It was his second to his last movie.
Okay, but I'm just asking, was the Mary Tyler Moore show already out at this point?
No, it started in 1970.
Okay, then yeah. Then she wasn't a big. I mean, she was still a big star from the Dick Van Dyke Show, but I think the Dick Van Dyke Show had ended in 1966. I don't remember, but anyways.
Yeah, this
So
movie was made in 1969. John Carpenter, played by Elvis Presley. And then hang on, 'cause I'm trying to see who the other characters were other than Mary Tyler Moore. So it's a okay, starring Elvis Presley, Barbara McNair, as I said, Jane Elliott. That's her name.
okay. Okay, yeah. So what is the next one after this?
So the next one after this is one of my favorite songs, and he did this one on the Ed Sullivan Show in 1956. And the reason that he did this one is because he was about to go into the army, and Ed Sullivan said, "I just wanted to say to Elvis, while you're here, thank you so much, and you're gonna do one of your mom's favorite songs." And he said yes, and he did this song called "There'll Be Peace in the Valley."
Yeah, for me, whenever I think of like Elvis gospel songs, this song, "There Will Be Peace in the Valley," and I think it's called "How Great Thou Art," are literally the
Yes,
first two Elvis gospel songs that come to my mind. Um, Again, as far as my notes, this song was written by Thomas Dorsey. One of the lines that I really liked was "Till the Lord comes and calls." Um, and that was what I picked out as far as the lyrics that stood out to me. Elvis's voice again is full of passion, and the vocals were very clean on this for "There'll Be Peace in the Valley." Definitely go to something that I would go back and listen to again on repeat. The song, by the way.
and the next song is also a good song, very clean vocals. This one you could also hear the passion in his voice when he sings it, and it's called "We Call on Him."
So "We Call on Him" is written by Fred Karger. We call on him whenever the storm clouds gather. The song reminds me of "You'll Never Walk Alone." Um, the first track that opens this album. It sounds almost like the same voice or key, possibly. It also sounds like it literally could be the same beat. Was this also on Change of Habit?
This these other songs like "Peace in the Valley" and "We Call on Him" were not in the Change of Habit movie. I think if memory serves me correctly, there's only two songs from the movie Change of Habit, and the songs are "Rubberneckin'," which is one of Elvis's biggest hits. Like if you know anything, if you have any of his greatest hits albums with Elvis One or Elvis Second to None, you would have heard "Rubberneckin'." And then the second one is, as I said, "Let Us Pray." And then now we're gonna jump to the next one called "I Believe."
I believe was written by Irvin Drake and Irvin Graham. Um, the line that stood out was, "I believe that somewhere in the darkest of the night, a candle will glow," sort of like a precursor. This kind of reminded me a precursor to the song "I Can Dream." It felt like it was on the same sort of wavelength. Like this could have been the song that gave Elvis the inspiration to sing "If I Can Dream."
Yes,
Uh,
and the line about the candle, it's kind of ironic because if you look at the picture, it almost looks like there's a candle behind him.
yeah, it does kind of. It also kind of looks like that's a halo, right?
Yeah, it looks like it's a halo is sitting down. The white suit. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Um, as far as this song, like I said, the voice on it. Anytime you listen to an Elvis recording, he's always giving it his all. His voice is not shaky. You can tell that he's really. There's some songs where it's so like fast and it's kind of like sing song type of voice. Where it's more talky, but this one was actually he was belting out the notes, and doing this. Um, is this one of the songs that he sang like on Ed Sullivan or something?
No, this one was later on. This was in 1976 when he was already
Yes.
getting sick. Yeah, I think it's on the Elvis. I want to say it's on the Elvis. That's the way it is, but I think I could be wrong.
All right, what's the next
Okay,
one?
so the next one is "It Is No Secret What God Can Do." Again, another one. I believe this one was also recorded in 76 when he was already on his way out when he was getting sick.
One of the lines in this one was, "The chimes of time ring out. The News of Another Day is through. This one was written by Stuart Hamblin. This is a slow ballad that kind of sounded like the other songs. I did notice a lot with some of these Elvis songs. They kind of sound derivative, like they could have been the same song, just different takes and different words. Because a lot of the backing beats sound the same to me. Is that something that's very common with Elvis?
No. As we'll discuss here in a minute. Oh, and by the way, let me fact check myself. I said this was 76. Apparently, this album was released March 22nd, 1971.
Okay, I
So
see.
he wasn't fully getting sick, but he was on his way there.
All right, what's the next song?
Okay, the next song is your other favorite songs. I know you really regarded this one a lot. You talked about this one a lot, and it's "Sing You Children."
Yeah, this one was written by Nelson Sound. To me, the song sounds like Milk Cow Blues Boogie. Um, but it's a song about Jonah. And I noticed that this one did have the Mexican horns, that remind me of Johnny Cash's "The Ring of Fire." Around this time, though, I feel like since we're hearing the Mexican horns again, is that something that I know that it's particular in this one Johnny Cash song, "The Ring of Fire," but is this something that was going on throughout all of the music at this time, like Johnny Cash and Elvis?
Well, I can safely and honestly say for Elvis, no. There's a few song or a few albums that he does have where it has like a horn section, which if you know anything, it's like the Fun in Acapulco and this one, and I think there's one other one. I can't really remember, but um, that's what I know as far as this one. Now, for the last song on this album, it's called "Take My Hand, Precious Lord."
This one was written by Thomas Dorsey. The lines, "I'm tired, I'm weak, I am lorn." This one particularly reminded me of the song "Bridge Over Troubled Waters." Was this also like on the Change of Habit soundtrack?
No, I told you he only had two songs in the Change of Habit movie, which were "Rubberneckin" and "Let Us Pray." That's it.
Got it. Got it. All right, you guys. So that wraps up. What were we doing?
The "You'll Never Walk Alone" album review. The next one we're going to talk about is one of my favorite movies. It's one of my favorite albums from Elvis, and that one is called "GI Blues."
All right, give me just a second. Let me update my background here really quickly because I
Not
like
you
to get
guys right
in
now.
the
Hold
mood.
on. This is
Not
your
you
part of the
guys.
show
Not
right
you
now.
guys. We're not talking about you guys. There we go.
There it is.
So the next thing is GI Blues. It is from the soundtrack to the movie from 1960. I was gonna do a piece. We are gonna be talking about the movie GI Blues later on, so I'll save like the synopsis and everything of the movie for that particular time, and
As
then
will
we'll
I.
reference back to these notes for the thing. This is just specifically for this movie soundtrack. Before we get into that, Deke, I have a question for you. So I noticed this particularly with Elvis and the Beatles. This is the soundtrack to the movie album, right? GI
Mm-hmm.
Blues.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when these albums were released, like GI Blues and Help and Hard Day's Night and things like that, if you'll notice, a lot of these albums don't say original motion picture soundtrack. Why? Is there a reason why it doesn't say that motion picture soundtrack or
Well, I know for Elvis, uh, mostly, Parker was behind that. He didn't want it to be. He wanted it to be classified as an actual album. Like he didn't want it to be classified under movie soundtrack because it wouldn't have been taken seriously and it would have sold. So,
but I mean as you can see with the Beatles, Hard Day's Night,
and the
Help.
Beatles actually, that's kind of a lie because there are actually two different versions of "Help" and "Hard Day's Night." There's a red one, which is the actual movie soundtrack, which Paul McCartney has talked about in many interviews, and there's the blue album, which is what it's called, which is supposed to be songs that were actually in the movie.
We will be discussing Hard Day's Night and Help and other Beatles movies on this channel a little bit later on. I don't know if it's going to be the same year since we already did Let It Be. Maybe around Thanksgiving time, since we did Let It Be, we won't do Get Back. Maybe we'll do one of those.
Maybe for John
But
Lennon's birthday. We don't know.
Deke and I will discuss that because we already had we were meeting about that earlier. All right, so why don't you kick us off and give us some information about the soundtrack?
Okay, so first of all, as Pickles said, the soundtrack is from 1960, and it's for the movie GI Blues. Now, each song from this album, it's a different cut on the album than it is in the movie. Like the movies are different cuts. You know, it. I think these were more. I think the ones in the movie are like more um rehearsed than these songs on the album. Now, we're gonna start out with one of my favorite songs called "Tonight Is So Right for Love." That's one of my favorite
Before
songs.
So sorry. Before we do that, I just want to give a little bit of information on the soundtrack album that I found from Wikipedia. Again, I don't know how accurate or true the stuff is from Wikipedia. I'm just giving you what is documented as far as this
I'm sitting
album.
here. I'll tell you if it's true or not. Go ahead.
GI Blues is the third soundtrack album and seventh overall album by American singer and musician Elvis Presley.
That's
It was
correct.
released by RCA Victor in mono and stereo in October 1960. It is the soundtrack to the 1960 film of the same name, which Elvis starred. Recording sessions took place on April 27th and 28th and May 6th, 1960 at RCA Victor Studio C and Radio Recorders in Hollywood, California. The album topped the Billboard Top Pop Album chart. It was certified gold on March 13th, 1963, and platinum on March 27th, 1992 by the Recording Industry Association of America. The album remained at the number one spot for 10 weeks. All right, now let's go into the songs.
Okay, now before, like I was saying before, I was so rudely interrupted.
Sorry.
Rude. So the first song is called "Tonight Is So Right for Love." I love this song. This is a great song, and I believe. Well, I'll discuss what scene it's on when we do the movie. But what were your thoughts on this one?
So I always like to write, give who wrote these songs. With this album in particular, I noticed that a lot of the songs were written by the same person, Sid Wayne. This one didn't have a lot of like music in the background. As far as the vocals, you can hear EP clearly. This is more like his voice is louder than the actual backing music. Um, he says something like I can see you, or I can't see that tonight is not right for love, or something like I can see that tonight is so right for love, I think. And then it has a very interesting drum beat that's almost at the same level as EP's voice on this one.
Okay, so the next one is from a funny scene in the movie, which we will talk about later. But this one is called "What She Really Like," and this one is a great one. I'm not gonna talk about the movie just yet, but it is one of my favorite scenes in the movie, and I think this is an amazing song. Again, Elvis's vocals on this song are truly amazing, truly incredible, and I think in this one you can hear his voice more prominently than you can the background music, as Pickles just said.
Yep, this one again is written by Sid Wayne. To me, the song is very rock and roll. From the time, you have to understand that when rock and roll was first invented, and like coined rock and roll, by like Alan Alan Freed. If you listen to early rock and roll like Elvis, you can hear this more prevalently with Eddie Cochran, where it has that specific like guitar bass beat and it has a certain way before it gets to like heavier vocals. But this is what this song reminded me of. It's really sweet, very good, easy on the eyes. Not easy on the eyes, but it's an easy song, something to sing really clean on the vocals. Like you can get through this in like 2 minutes. This to me is like early rock and roll, that 1950 to like 1960 sound, which again, we know this was from 1960. So it's like right there, like peak early rock and roll.
Okay, and the next song is called Frankfurt Special. This one's about a train. Again, clean vocals. I love Elvis's guitar playing in this one at the end. And Pickles, your takeaway.
So this movie was written by Sid Wayne. Um,
Song, not the movie.
Sorry, the song was written by Sid Wayne. You guys, I'm really tired. I
She's
had a
half
hard time
asleep, y'all, so
sleeping.
we're trying to rush through this. So
I had a hard time sleeping last night. But this song reminded me, I think it's the Johnny Cash song Orange Blossom Special. I'm about to fact check that, by the way. Um and you can hear the middle guitar section sounds like what Stitch plays in the movie Lilo and Stitch. Um which is like that like Hawaiian type of beat that I noticed. And then one of the lines that I picked up was Frankfurt Special's got a special way to go. Is that correct?
yes,
Blossom. Checking on that song. Yes, Orange Blossom Special is a Johnny Cash song. I also think it's about a train. I can't be sure because like I can't hear it right now, but I'm gonna check the lyrics.
it is because he says it's that Orange Blossom Special coming down the
He's
line.
sitting on a train. I don't know if you guys can see.
No,
Where is it at?
no, but they get the gist.
Yeah, it's a Johnny Cash song. He's sitting on a train, basically. But that's what it. I haven't heard the song in a while, but that's what it reminded me of. All right, what's the next one?
The next one is a song very near and dear to my heart. No, it's not. I'm Your Puppet. It's called Wooden Heart, and this song is for anybody who's ever loved it. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, I'm not gonna do that. No, this song is a really cute song. It's a really great song. Again, great vocals, just great. It's an easy listening song all around. I would definitely say that this was kind of more made for like kids as a lullaby. But what are your overall thoughts?
So, Wooden Heart. Now, I've only seen GI Blues, maybe 2 or 3 times when I was younger, so I don't remember
She
a
is
whole
gonna
lot of
watch it
it.
this week, so I'm gonna make her watch it.
But I am gonna watch it here really soon because we're gonna be reviewing this movie. Um, but from this song is written by Fred Wise. Now I've seen the actual music video of this song, so I know that EP is singing to puppets, I believe, in this clip. Um, but all that aside, this is one of my favorite Elvis songs. This song is on Elvis ones, and I listen to this part because I like when he sings in German. Um, this is a song that I go to all the time. It's like If I Can Dream, it's like Rubberneckin', that these are like on my top 3 Elvis songs I listen to all the time. I love how he sings. I love how his vocals are so clear and concise, and I like how his German is not broken. He sings the notes very clearly so that you can hear it, but that is my favorite song off this album.
Now, the next one is the title track from the movie called GI Blues, which again, great song. Elvis's guitar playing in this one is on point. And I'm gonna say something, and this is kind of taking kind of a shot at him because he always said that he couldn't really play the guitar. He only played 3 chords. For somebody who couldn't play but 3 chords on his guitar, he did an amazing job.
So yeah, so we'll come back to that really quickly. This song was written by Sid Tepper. It was a very catchy song for me. Um, the song is the movie's theme song. This one also has a big German thing. I noticed that a lot of words had like German names, like bread names, Hass and Pfeffer, and I can't remember what the other one was that I heard in there. And then he says something like Frauleins, which I think are the name for German girls who are unmarried. In this particular song, I did like this song a lot. Um, in the context of like, I'm not sure exactly what's happening in the movie. Again, I can't wait to see the movie to put all these like songs in place. But GI Blues, I did like that when I liked how they incorporated all those German things.
Okay, the next one is a beautiful done song, and it's called "Pocket Full of Rainbows." Another great, amazing song. Vocals are clean. This is an easy listening, slow song. It's just an all around favorite of mine. Like if I'm trying to be in a mellow mood, I will play this one.
So for me, this Pocket Full of Rainbows, this was written by Ben Weissman. Actually, I was gonna look this up because this song reminded me of an Eddie Cochran style song. Now if you're an Eddie Cochran fan, you'll know his particular style of rock and roll is more R&B type, I feel like. But his vocals, like I swear, if I didn't know that Elvis was singing the song, I would have guessed Eddie Cochran was singing it because his vocals are that deep. And that's what I was thinking about when I heard this song. I was like, I'm sure Eddie Cochran sang this, but I don't remember.
Okay, the next song preceding this one is wait, where were we? Okay, so the next one preceding this one is "Shopping Around." This one again, I'm not sure who wrote it. Again, another great song, another kind of rock and roll tune, I guess you could say, but it is a great tune on this album. And Pickles, your thoughts?
Um, Again, this one is written by said Tepper. Again, this to me sounded like classic Eddie Cochran, that early rock and roll sound. Elvis's voice is clear on this one. It's not deep at all. It's not, how do I say this? In most of Elvis's songs that I noticed, like that we were
He's
just
got more of
reviewing,
a raspier voice.
like those gospel songs, I noticed he had a little bit more soul and like passion in those songs. I think these are like filler songs that you can get through right away, that are so easy and fast, and that's what this reminded me of.
Now the
By the
next
way,
one,
Eddie Cochran is also will be heavily featured on this channel.
that's what
Continue.
Brian Setzer.
Go ahead.
Okay, so the next one is a lullaby tune that he sings to a baby, which Pickles will see when we see the movie. And the name of the song is called "Big Boots."
Yeah, so in my notes, by the way, this song is written by Sid Wayne. I asked, isn't there a baby in this movie? I think that maybe this song he sings to a baby. I
Yes,
wonder if he sang the song to Lisa. But wasn't the baby in this movie like a little boy?
yes, we'll discuss that when we see the movie. We will discuss that.
Yeah, I was like, I think I remember there was a baby in this movie at some point. But yeah, it was nice. It was a nice little catchy lullaby. Kind of slow, melodic. His notes are a little bit more drawn out, like big boots, like when he's singing to the baby. So and it went by super fast. I think it was like a minute and a half, maybe.
Yeah. Okay. Now the next one is actually the end of the movie. This song actually closes the movie. If our Pickles will see when we discuss that, but this song actually closes the movie. And it's called "Did You Ever?"
This one is also written again by Sid Wayne, who I did discuss, I think, in a previous episode that he wrote a lot of songs for Elvis's movies. This one was a military. This reminded me of military music, especially with that drum beat in the background, that march type of the marching band type of background. Um, it's I mean, to me, it's not like a go-to song for this album. It's catchy. I can see you like doing a little like two-step to this, like a little dance to this song. But yeah.
The next one I can tell you about. This one was written by the amazing Carl Perkins originally, and then it was covered by Elvis Presley, and Elvis made it a hit naturally. So, and the name of that song is called "Blue Suede Shoes." Now I don't know if it was just me noticing, but this is a different cut than the actual single version.
Yeah, no, I noticed that too. That was literally one of my first notes. This is a different version than the version that is on Elvis 1, or the version that we're used
The
to as
single
far as Blue
version. The
Suede
single
Shoes.
version.
I felt like this one was a little bit slower, and maybe this one was more acoustic than the other one. The one that I know, because I heard the acoustic guitar going a lot on this one. And by the way, literally rock and roll and punk is the same three chords, just rock and roll is the same three chords as punk, except punk they played them slightly faster than rock and roll. Just wanted to say that, by the way.
Okay, now now if you have the original LP of this album, this would have been the original ending song, but there is one more because we're doing the deluxe one, which has a bonus track. So bear with us. Now, this next song is called "Doing the Best I Can." This one, I mean, it's not one of my go-to Elvis songs, and I really didn't think it fit in the movie, nor does it fit on the soundtrack. But it's a great song all in all. Pickles.
This is written by WB Doc Thomas. This song to me sounds exactly like Love Me Tender, except just maybe a smidge faster. Again, it's one of those derivative songs where I can swear it's the same song. They just sped up the beat or slowed down the beat and then just changed the words. That's what I thought about the song.
Okay, and now the last song is the actual, I guess you could say, demo version of this particular track, and it's called "Tonight's All Right for Love," which we just discussed, but we will discuss it again because it is a bonus track on this album. So, Pickles, do you want to take it?
This one again is written by Sid Wayne. I didn't really catch a whole lot of this song, but I noticed that this one has an accordion as part of the backing beats.
Yes. And this one's, as I said earlier, this one's just a great song. I really like this one, and not really much else I could say, but I cannot wait to show Pickles the movie, and there's going to be so much more to talk about, and we could discuss it deeper as soon as we see the movie.
Yes. So that was our videos for today. We did The Trouble with Angels. That'll be uploaded probably tonight because I'm gonna go take a nap here in a little bit. This one will also be uploaded. Coming up next, we have what did we decide we have coming up next? We have Law and Order. We're gonna start season 1 this pretty soon. And then
We gotta watch GI Blues, and then it'll be Law and Order.
yeah, we're gonna watch GI Blues. I'm gonna review this movie, and then that'll probably be up on Wednesday, and then we're gonna start Law and Order to kick off our categories that we've been waiting for 26 seasons. So we're gonna
Yep.
get that started, and then for September we have Hank Williams Senior. We have Shania Twain. Coming up, we have the Buddy Holly story, and we have the 1934 version of Imitation of Life.
And hopefully
Those are,
some more special guests.
we'll also have more special guests that we'll be interviewing and talking with, and then whatever little things might pop up that we want to review. But the four big things that we will be doing for sure is going to be Shania Twain, Hank Williams, the Buddy Holly story, and the 1934 version of Imitation of Life. And so thank you so much, guys, for joining the Pickles and Bacon Show Rewind, where we discuss our favorite books, movies, TV shows, things that we like. We interview guest stars. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share. We really, really appreciate you watching us. This is the newest and probably best format of this podcast that we have created. This is really working a lot better for us, I think, in terms of our format. So I'm going to leave you now by saying, please be kind to one another. Love everyone except anything that has MAGA in it. If you know what that means, you know what that means. Bacon.
Be mad. We don't care. Be mad.
Exactly. You want to play us out?
Oh, yeah. All I'm gonna say is love yourself, be true to yourself, and never let them say you ain't beautiful. Unless you're mega, then y'all are ugly as shit.
And save the Texas Prairie Chicken.
Come at me. I don't care. Come at me. Said what I said.
All right, you guys. We will see you on Wednesday for the GI Blues review of the movie. Well, not review. We'll call it discussion because we like break down the whole movie and like literally scene for scene for scene. And that's it. Bye, you guys.
No, I gotta go because I have a DoorDash delivery, so I gotta go.
Okay, bye.